Welcome to Storytime. Today we're going to be reading a book called Grandma's Tipi, a present-day Lakota story. This book is written and illustrated by S.D. Nelson, who was a member of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe in the Dakotas. I hope you enjoy this book. Now let's get ready for story time. Grandma's Tipi, a present-day Lakota story. Oh, Clara, it's so good to see you. Grandma hugged me like she would never let go. She smelled good, like flowers and fresh baked bread. My cousin Juniper was there too. She lived with our Unci, our grandma, and went to school on the Standing Rock Reservation where they lived. In the fall, Juniper was going to be in second grade. I was going to be in the third. Mom and Dad said I was old enough to come to spend part of the summer with them. Next morning, as Juniper and I finished our breakfast, we heard a noisy engine come down the drive and stop outside. Grandma's eyes brightened. It's your Uncle Louie. He's brought something special. We ran outside. What a sight! Poles, as long as could be, were lashed atop a pickup truck. Inside the truck bed was a large canvas cloth bundle. Out of the cab stepped a man with a toothy grin, our Uncle Louie. He was big, like a bear. Well, holy guacamole, he cheered. It's my two nieces and their grandma. He gave us all a hug. What have you got? I asked. It's your uncle's teepee, he answered. Actually, it's our family teepee. Your grandmother is the keeper. She'll tell you all about it. The teepee has been with our family a very long time, our Unchi said. My mother was the teepee's first keeper. She passed it to me. And one day, you girls will receive it. She lit a braid of sweet grass that offered a ribbon of sweet-smelling smoke to carry her prayer upward. Thank you for this, our family's teepee. We ask for a blessing. May it stand strong. May good stories from long ago be told and new memories made. Uncle Louie showed us how to stand up and stack the poles. Then our Unchi, with our uncle's help, showed Juniper and me how to wrap the canvas covering around and over them. The teepee door always faces east, Uncle Louie said. It always opens to the rising of the morning sun and the beginning of a new day. Colorful figures covered the teepee, painted by generations of family. My grandmother, hers before that, and other family members had painted them. They seemed to dance, horses, buffalo, birds, dragonflies, and people. At the top, two big smoke flaps opened like butterfly wings. They let smoke out from the wood fire, but could be closed when it rained. Inside, we spread tarps and blankets on the ground. The great teepees smelled of wood smoke from cooking fires and storytelling fires from years long past. Our Unchi brought out sandwiches for us, cheese, salami, and homemade baked bread. Afterward, she braided my cousin's hair. She brushed out the tangles until all was smooth and even. After parting the hair on top, she separated it into 3 strands on one side and wove them into a traditional braid. Grandma did the same on the other side. I was next. Grandma gave me a new style of braids, the kind that some girls wear to a powwow, a big gathering where people sing and dance to the pounding of drums. That night, Uncle Louie, my Aunt Margaret, and their son joined us, along with other relatives and friends. Uncle Louie built a glowing storytelling fire in the center of the teepee. Our Unchi wore the wonderful traditional beaded dress that her grandmother had made many years ago. She spoke, almost whispering. The circle of our teepee has a story to tell. It is about remembering how to live in the great circle of life. Father Sun and Sister Moon are round and turn in the sky above. Mother Earth, beneath our feet, is a round circle too. She gives us everything we need in this life, food and shelter. We must care for her, forests, rivers, and animals. The four seasons, summer, autumn, winter, and spring, come and go in a circle. The birds of the air know this teaching. They build their nests in a circle that tenderly holds their clutch of tiny round eggs. We call the circle of life Kangleska Wakan, or the sacred hoop. Our Unchi taught us to give thanks by singing the Thanksgiving song. After the others left, Juniper and I laid out our sleeping bags. We were going to spend the night in our teepee. Overhead, where the teepee poles crossed, the smoke flaps opened to the sky. "Oh, look," said Juniper, pointing up. "The star people are circling above." "Yes," I replied. "My dad says they are the spirits of our ancestors who lived long ago. The two-legged beings, the four-legged creatures, the winged beings of the air, and even little creepy crawlies. They dance along the spirit road of the Milky Way." We soon drifted off to sleep in dreams. As the days grew hotter, Grandma showed us how to roll up the walls of the teepee to allow for a cooling breeze. Our Unchi took us swimming in the Cannonball River that flowed behind her house. Juniper and I waded along the bank and splashed each other. Grandma stayed on the riverbank. Suddenly, a creepy snake came skimming across the water's surface toward us. We shrieked. Juniper and I were out of the water in an instant, trembling and shivering with fear. Grandma said the snake was harmless. Then we were all laughing with delight. We had escaped. Later that day, our Unchi explained, "It is best to paint teepee walls when the canvas is spread flat on the ground. Today, I will paint while the teepee is standing upright. I want to paint a spirit picture for each of you." Grandma asked Juniper, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" My cousin answered right away, "I want to be on the high school basketball team." Our Unchi smiled and nodded. "I want to be a pilot," I said, "and fly jets." Our Unchi painted a basketball player for Juniper. She painted my spirit picture next to swift birds and dragonflies. We got to paint our handprints next to our spirit pictures. On Saturdays, Grandma drove off the reservation to do her grocery shopping. When she returned, Unchi sliced the red meat she had bought into thin strips and sprinkled them with salt. Juniper and I hung the strips on a drying rack outside the teepee. In a couple of days, the meat would be dry. Grandma said, "Some people call this dried meat jerky. We call it bapa." Before refrigerators, our ancestors preserved meat in this way. It can be stored and eaten weeks and months later. I will make you a stew mixing the bipa with corn, squash, and prairie turnips. In the teepee, Juniper and I began a beading project. Nestled about us were tin pie plates filled with red, yellow, blue, and white glass beads. We each strung beaded necklaces. Unchi sat with us. She had sewn a traditional Lakota dress. Now she was decorating the buckskin. Her nimble hands worked the needle and thread. With each stroke of the needle, she picked up the glass beads and stitched them in place. Unchi said, "I am making this dress for a girl that I know. I hope that someday she will wear it and dance at our powwow." "Clara, stand up and hold the dress to your chin. Let's see how this dress might look on you." "Oh, Grandma," I said, "this is a perfect fit for me." "My goodness," Unchi said, "it does look like a perfect fit." "Well then, this dress must be for you." My eyes and mouth opened wide. "Oh, Unchi, I love you." I gave her a big hug. One afternoon, the clouds in the west darkened and rose like monstrous mountains. Then came the pitter-patter of raindrops on the teepee. Grandma hurried out of the house to close the smoke flaps and show us how to roll down the teepee covering. The gentle rapping quickly turned into a downpour. Lightning flashed purple. The thunder beings pounded their great thunder drums. Hailstones pelted the walls, but our teepee stood strong. Inside, we were safe and dry. Almost as suddenly as the storm had come, it passed, followed by a glowing rainbow that arced across the sky. Our grandmother said, "We two-legged beings pray for rain. We pray with our four-legged brothers, coyote, rabbit, and buffalo. We join with our sisters of the sky, hummingbird and hawk, to welcome the rain. The thunder beings come with the gift of water. They give life to this thirsty land. Mother Earth smells wonderful after the rain. Green leaves reach up and lovely flowers open everywhere." Juniper and I went out into the sunshine. We played barefoot, squishing mud between our toes. A Heyoka appeared, riding a horse. He rode backward without a saddle. Juniper shouted, "It's our Uncle Louie!" Heyokas are clowns who do things backward in life. Louie waved his hand and greeted us. "Goodbye, everybody!" He dismounted and blundered about. "Holy guacamole," he explained. "I wish it would rain." Uncle Louie waded into one of the puddles and then sat with a splash. Covered with mud, he cried like a big baby. Juniper and I had never seen anything so funny. We screamed with laughter. We laughed so hard that we cried. And so the summer days passed. My parents arrived to pick me up all too soon. Saying goodbye meant hugs and happy tears. My Unci handed me a package. Her parting gift was her smile and the beaded dress she had made especially for me. My mom and dad said we would return in the fall so that I could wear my new dress and dance in the powwow. As we drove away, I waved goodbye to Unci, Juniper, and Uncle Louie with one hand. In my other hand, I clung tightly to my Lakota dress and fond memories of summer days and starry nights, and Grandma's teepee. The end. Thank you so much for reading Grandma's Teepee with me. I hope you enjoyed this story as much as I did. I look forward to reading more stories for you, so don't forget to check back often, and have a beautiful day.